God doesn't need a lot of time. He just needs your faith. The same God who formed the heavens and the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh is still working miracles. When God speaks, time bends to his will. What you think should take years, God can accomplish in days. You may have been waiting, struggling, holding on by a thread, but you are only 7 days away from divine change. Your faith is the ticket, not your resume, not your qualifications, not your connections, just your belief. If he can create the universe in under a week, surely he can turn your situation around by next Sunday. I came to tell somebody that the pain you've been carrying has an expiration date. Your suffering is not wasted, your tears are not forgotten, and your silence has not gone unheard. God has circled your name, and he is about to shift your season. The enemy thought you would break under the pressure, but instead you are about to break into purpose. What felt like punishment was preparation. What felt like loss was alignment. You're not losing your mind. You're gaining your mantle. You are coming out of this refined, stronger, and ready for what's next. Everything that's behind you pales in comparison to what's ahead. God is not recycling your past. He is doing a new thing in you. Stop mourning what didn't work out. Stop clinging to what he's already released you from. Let it go so your hands are free to receive. You've been looking at closed doors, but God is about to open one you didn't knock on. In 7 days you will see the hand of God do what you could not do in 7 years. The next chapter of your life is not going to look like the last one, because what's coming is greater than what's been. But don't just sit and wait. Move. God moves when you move. Faith is not passive, it's active. Begin preparing for what you prayed for. Speak like it's done, praise like it's done, walk like it's done. Don't wait until the break through to start dancing. Praise in advance, that's faith, that's trust. When you move, heaven responds, miracles are drawn to movement. Don't let fear paralyze your faith. You can't be passive in this season. Your praise is your weapon, your obedience is your key, and your expectation is the door. The enemy had his moment, but the moment is over. That storm had a purpose, but it also had a deadline. What tried to destroy you is about to announce your arrival. You've survived too much to go unnoticed. God is about to make an example out of your endurance. The devil threw his best shot, and you're still here. Your survival is your testimony. This week, the enemy will regret ever messing with you. God is getting ready to release justice, favor, and restoration in your life. Every lie spoken about you is being reversed. Every weapon formed is being dismantled. Each day, God is doing something strategic. Day 1, he's reviving your hope. Day 2, he's healing your hidden wounds. Day 3, provision is being loosed. Day 4, the storm begins to calm. Day 5, everything that's been against you starts to fall. Day 6, divine connections show up, and on day 7, you will step into your promise. What you thought was a random week is a prophetic setup. This is not just any week, it is holy ground. Walk carefully. Speak boldly, expect miracles. You've got to declare it. This week changes everything. Open your mouth and speak over your life. Speak over your children. Speak over your future. You're not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You're not hoping for permission. You've been anointed for the assignment. Stop playing small. This is your week. This is your moment. In 7 days, God will shift you from overlooked to unstoppable, from burden to blessed, from waiting to walking in it. If you believe it, act like it, praise like it, walk like it, because in 7 days, everything is about to change. You have cried long enough. You have paced the floor, sat in silence, screamed into pillows, and questioned your worth. The nights have been long, and the answers have been few. You've prayed prayers that felt like they hit the ceiling. You've smiled in public but shattered in private. And still through it all, you kept moving, kept working, kept believing, if only by a thread. I came to remind you today that your pain is not permanent. It has an expiration date. Heaven has a schedule, and your suffering is not lost in the shuffle. There comes a point in every believer's life where God says, enough, enough weeping, enough wondering. Enough wondering if you're still seen. You've endured the season of silence, but now the clouds are beginning to part. What you thought was abandonment was actually God developing you in secret. Sometimes he hides you to heal you. You weren't being punished. You were being preserved. God never wastes pain. He multiplies it into power. You are not broken beyond repair. You are bruised for purpose. You see, pain is a messenger. It comes to teach, to redirect, and to shape us into something greater than we were before. Nobody grows on the mountain. Growth happens in the valley, in the dry places, in the low moments when all you have is God. You learn to pray differently there. You discovered who you really are there. That pain gave you a new kind of praise. A praise that doesn't wait for results, but rises in the middle of the storm. You have been tested, and now comes the testimony. Your tears have not gone unnoticed. The Bible says he bottles everyone. That means your crying has been documented. There's a heavenly record of what you've endured, and there is a reward attached to it. For every sleepless night, God is releasing peace. For every lonely day, he is sending divine connection. For every heartbreak, he is giving beauty for ashes. He is not just healing you. He is preparing you to carry what's next. This pain was never meant to end you. It was meant to launch you. What tried to bury you is going to bless you. What seemed like a breakdown is actually the beginning of your breakthrough. You've been walking through it like it's your forever. But it's just a hallway. Don't pitch a tent in a temporary place. You are passing through. The fire is refining you, not consuming you. This is not how your story ends. It's how your strength begins. You're not going to walk out the same. You're going to walk out wiser, stronger, more focused, and more anointed. There's a shift happening even now. You may not see it yet, but something is changing in the spirit. God is closing the chapter of pain and opening the page of purpose. You're moving from surviving to thriving. From barely making it to being more than a conqueror. The pressure is giving way to power. The struggle is giving way to strategy. What was once torment will soon be testimony. And when people ask what happened, all you'll be able to say is, God brought me out. So lift up your head. Wipe your face. Straighten your back. Your pain has served its purpose. It was never meant to stay. This is the season where things begin to make sense. The pieces are coming together. And just when you thought it was over, just when you thought the darkness would last forever, here comes the light. God is turning it around. The pain is ending. The page is turning, and glory is rising in your life. There are moments in life when we become so focused on what we've lost that we miss what God is trying to bring into our lives. We replay the pain, the disappointment, the betrayal, and the failure so many times that it becomes our lens for the future. But God is not calling you to relive what happened. He's calling you to release it. He's not recycling your pain. He's replacing it with purpose. What you thought was the end was only the beginning of a new thing. Don't be so loyal to the past that you miss the future God has planned. It's easy to get stuck mourning what was, what could have been, what should have happened, who should have stayed. But your destiny is not tied to what left you. Your future is not anchored to the people who walked away, to the job you lost, to the plans that fell apart. If it was necessary for your next, God would have kept it. And if he allowed it to leave, then what's coming must be greater than what's been. You haven't seen your best days yet. You haven't experienced your full joy yet. What God has ahead of you will make sense of everything behind you. Too often, we allow our history to become a ceiling when it was only meant to be a foundation. Just because something didn't happen the way you hoped doesn't mean God has changed his mind about you. Delay is not denial, and disappointment is not defeat. Sometimes God uses the no's of life to build your spiritual muscle so that you're strong enough to carry the yes when it finally comes. What's ahead of you will require more from you, but it will also reward you more than you can imagine. You are stepping into a season where you don't have to chase what's meant for you. You won't have to beg for support, explain your worth, or shrink to fit anyone's comfort zone. What God is about to release will meet you in the place of your obedience. You've sown seeds in tears, and now the harvest is coming in joy. It's not just about things getting better. It's about you becoming better. The change is not just around you. It's within you. The new thing God is doing is already forming in your spirit. There is a shift taking place. Doors you thought were closed for good are about to swing wide open. People who overlooked you will have to acknowledge the hand of God on your life. Places you were once denied, you'll be invited into with honor. What was broken is being rebuilt. What was stolen is being restored. The blessing that's coming is not a small one. It's a pressed down, shaken together, running over kind of blessing, and it's tailored for you. But you have to be willing to let go of what's behind. You can't carry yesterday's weight into tomorrow's promise. God is trying to fill your hands, but they're still holding old pain. Lay it down, release it, make room. There's a new chapter waiting to be written, and it doesn't begin with regret. It begins with faith. Faith that what's coming is worth the wait. Faith that God hasn't forgotten you. Faith that everything you went through is about to work in your favor. So lift your eyes from the ground. Stop rehearsing the closed doors and start preparing for the new opportunities. Stop questioning if you're worthy and start walking like you are chosen. The enemy wants you stuck in what was, but God is calling you into what is and what will be. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, and it hasn't even entered into your heart what he's getting ready to do. What's coming is greater than what's been, and it's on its way to you now. There comes a time in every believer's life when waiting becomes a hiding place. We tell ourselves we're waiting on God, but in truth, God is often waiting on us. He's waiting on us to take the first step, to move in faith, to act like we believe what we say we believe. God is not a God of stagnation. He blesses motion. When Peter stepped out of the boat, the water held him, not because it became solid, but because faith became his foundation. That's the kind of movement God is calling you to, faith that walks even when it doesn't make sense. You've prayed, you've fasted, you've cried, but now it's time to move. It's time to put your hands to the vision, to act on the promise, to prepare for what you've been believing for. God does not respond to comfort zones. He responds to courage. Too many people are waiting for all the lights to turn green before they leave the driveway, but God gives direction as you go. He didn't give Noah a finished boat. He gave him instructions. The miracle is in the motion. If you want to see God work, start walking. Movement is the language of faith. Praise is a form of movement. Obedience is movement. Sacrifice is movement. There are some things God won't release until you step toward them. The walls of Jericho didn't fall until the people marched. The Red Sea didn't part until Moses raised his staff. If you're waiting for the situation to change before you act, you may be waiting forever. But when you move, you activate the supernatural, you unlock what was stuck, you open what was sealed. It's time to act like the promise is already yours. Start walking through the house you're believing for. Start designing the business you haven't launched yet. Start praising like the healing has already happened. That's not foolishness, that's faith. Faith doesn't ignore reality, but it refuses to be ruled by it. Faith says, I see the storm, but I'm still stepping out. God doesn't need perfection from you. He needs participation. He needs motion. He needs willingness. When you move, heaven aligns. You can't afford to sit still in this season. This is not the time to be passive, hesitant, or double-minded. The window is open. The ground is fertile. The atmosphere is charged. Something powerful is ready to be birthed, but you've got to push. You've got to show up with your oil, with your praise, with your yes. If you want the rain, you've got to dig the ditches. If you want the fire, you've got to build the altar. Your actions speak louder than your anxiety. Let your movement speak for you. God is not looking for the most gifted. He's looking for the most responsive. He can bless effort. He can bless faith. He can bless obedience. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to start. Take the step, make the call, write the plan, apply for the opportunity. God is not looking for perfect conditions. He's looking for surrendered hearts. Your willingness to move may be the very thing that breaks the generational chain, opens the next door, or ignites the next season. So don't wait until it looks safe. Don't wait until it feels easy. Don't wait for applause or affirmation. If God said go, then go. If He said move, then move. The provision is in the place of obedience. The miracle is on the other side of the motion. This is your moment to shift. Your feet are the keys to your future. Move and watch God move with you. There comes a moment when heaven declares, "That's enough." You've been under attack, pressed from every side, pushed to your limit, and tempted to quit. But the enemy's time has expired. The storm you've been fighting wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to develop you. And while it may have felt like the devil had the upper hand, God was always in control of the clock. Hell had a schedule, but heaven had the authority. Every trial has a season, and that season is ending now. What you need to understand is that the enemy is not eternal. His influence has limits. His assignment has a deadline. The same way Pharaoh had a cutoff, Goliath had a last day, and the lion's den had a morning release, so does your warfare. The enemy had his moment to test you, but he won't get the last word. God has already